Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I got a few DC updates for you today. There's some bad news about AMC Theaters, but there may be a sliver of light and hope for Wonder Woman 1984 releasing in 2020. We'll see. Also, big news of reportedly Ben Affleck may or not have returned to Batman. Is there a deal or no deal? Let's see and find out. Also, Zack Snyder's Justice League, has it begun? And finally, some cool storyboards from David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Before all that, I have to thank my members of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much to the members of the Ping Pong Flix Show. You guys are the lifeline of the Ping Pong Flix Show. I truly appreciate every single one of you. And like I said, once we reach 100 members, we will have a random prize drawing, including the subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel and watching daily for DC content. Now, on with the news. The first topic of the day is AMC Theaters may file for bankruptcy. Yeah. By the end of this year, if they don't find any more means of getting more money, then they are going to file for potential bankruptcy. So they plan to sell 15 million shares in order to get some of that liquid. But if not, the theater, the box office is not helping, so they can't stay open for long. They opened a whole bunch more because Regal and Cinemark closed down. But that's not enough. They need a little bit more liquid, and they really need those theaters to open, which goes straight into my next topic, actually, which is that box office analysts are doubtful, though, that Wonder Woman 1984 will release in 2020. But according to the Variety article that has come out, after months of nearly constant bad news, theater closures, movie postponements, Tenet, the film industry last week finally received a glimmer of good news. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced that cinemas outside of New York City can start reopening on Friday. That's great. That's awesome. But it may not be enough, right? At least these box office experts are saying. See, Hollywood studios have made it clear that blockbusters won't return until cinemas in New York and California, two influential movie markets in the U.S., can reopen. It has become clear that movie studios are not willing to release blockbuster product until key major markets are open, says AMC Theaters CEO Adam Aron on Monday. The cinema chain plans to reopen several theaters in state this week. Therefore, it is a monumental step in the right direction for our entire industry. The theaters are starting to open across the state of New York, though it has not opened up in New York City, which is pretty much a lot of the bulk of that box office. But it is good. And looks like Wall Street's pretty happy because the shares went up, and just enough for AMC to say, let's sell this right now so we can get a little bit more money in our pocket, just in case. But 25% capacity, it's not really working out too well. Theaters are definitely banking on Warner Bros. To keep their Wonder Woman 1984 on the calendar for Christmas Day. The remaining movies still scheduled for 2020, Universal's The Croods: A New Age on Thanksgiving, Ryan Reynolds' Free Guy in December, to name a few, are hardly enough on their own to keep film exhibitors in business. Cinemas are in desperate need of an event-sized movie to get people off the couch and into theaters. Of course, coronavirus cases are continuing to rise. There seems like there's no vaccine that will be available until 2021. Audiences are still hesitant to return to the movies. Understandable. Anywhere, really. So then it's arguably less viable for Warner Brothers to take another bold risk given all the uncertainty. Wonder Woman 1984 is just about the only movie left on the 2020 schedule that has the potential to reach blockbuster status, at least in pre-pandemic times. Experts say it's impossible to estimate how much the Wonder Woman sequel could make in the current market. But even it made 50% less than the first, which generated a massive $400 million at the domestic box office, another $400 million overseas. With restrictions in place, the comic book adventure would struggle to turn a profit. The sequel was greenlit with the expectation that it would earn more, not considerably less, than its predecessor. Cuomo opening theaters to 25% capacity isn't enough. Studios are going to make a business decision. So even if reopen New York and California could entirely reopen theaters tomorrow, it's almost implausible that rival studios would consider moving any titles that were pushed to next year back in 2020. For studios, there's decidedly less at stake in the short term. Yes, most have other revenue streams, but they also have a backlog of movies, many of which were put on hold when the pandemic forced film sets to close for months. The gap in production means studios are super comfortable slipping things into 2021. That means even with some New York theaters open, unfortunately, they're thinking Wonder Woman might soon fly into next year. So I'm happy that they started opening up these theaters. And, I think it's been researched that it's not that dangerous in theaters. I'm not, although, with all this contact tracing is really difficult to tell. But it is helping the theatrical business, and at the same time, it's killing them as well as they're struggling to stay open. If Wonder Woman 1984 gets delayed to 2021, being it the actually last big blockbuster film that could potentially come out in 2020, we're going to see a little bit more theaters going bankrupt, closures. It's ugly. It's absolutely ugly. So I don't know what's going to happen, but looks like at least New York and California are working to try to save those businesses at this point. But we'll have to wait and see if we get to see Wonder Woman 1984 on December 25th of 2020. All right, now on to this big news drop, which comes from the culture nerd, and that is this. Ben Affleck apparently signed on for more films and HBO Max series as Batman. This is coming straight from the culture nerd today. Sources close to TCM have confirmed Ben Affleck is signed on for more films as Batman, as well as his own HBO Max series. This news comes after an exclusive from Vanity Fair in August confirmed Affleck would return to the cowl for Andy Muschietti's The Flash. Our sources have now confirmed Affleck intends to continue his role as the Dark Knight, as he has signed on to appear in an undisclosed amount of films featuring his version of Batman. It remains to be seen which films these are exactly. We can also confirm part of this signing includes the proposed HBO Max project, which we had previously reported was being considered, if Ben would be okay with doing it. With Affleck now on board, the HBO series is working on plot details. We can report that a big focus being looked at for this series is the backstory for Robin and how losing the boy wonder made Batman into the jaded individual we see in Batman v Superman. Now that sounds familiar, though. I thought we had this before. I'm pretty sure I made a video about it before. So I went back to look at their previous report, and it did say this: Ben Affleck possibly returning as Batman for future Zack Snyder projects. But over here it says sources close to TCN have revealed that Ben Affleck is indeed returning and that he has already signed a new contract at the Bat of Gotham in a limited capacity. That was reported on June 30 of 2020. But we do have some people at La Jugurera de Gotham and Snyder Cut 214 also heard the same reports regarding Affleck's contract. So that means, I guess the deal was done then or now. Or maybe what they're trying to say is that back in June 30th, there was a deal that was done, some type of capacity, and then there was more added to the plate possibly for today, which is, I think that's what they're trying to say. Now, I was really hoping that this actually snowballed into something. So I, quickly looked for trade reports. I quickly looked for Hollywood Reporter, anybody to cover it and things like that. Unfortunately, nobody covered it. So I don't know if this is true or not. I hope it is. That'd be pretty amazing. That we could get more Ben Affleck as Batman, and if he's actually doing more films as Batman, could that spark like a separate universe out of the Flash movie? While reported that Michael Keaton was going to do some stuff on the side as well. And then so like in the movie theaters, imagine that like we'll have actual films of Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, and Robert Pattinson. That's a lot of Batman in the DCEU. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of Batman. Like, why is Henry Cavill the only Superman over there? What's going on? So, but aside from that, that'd be pretty damn amazing if that actually happens. I'm pretty excited and stoked for that to happen. And so I was really looking forward to maybe other people covering it. Something that came out from the Wrap or Deadline saying confirmed, kind of like how the Deadline had confirmed Illuminati. Illuminati actually got a scoop right, which is like the Sarah Shahi being in Black Adam, and they actually tagged them in it. That was pretty cool. So hoping to see that, or even Geeks Worldwide, where they actually got some things cited as well. But so far we haven't seen anything. But hey, let's wait and find out. Let's see if there's any more. I reached out to certain people. They said nothing has happened. They haven't heard anything. They haven't, probably not the sources that these guys have. Maybe. I even looked up some people if they said anything. Casey from, he's the editor-in-chief of Geeks Worldwide. When someone asked, is it true that Ben Affleck is back? And Casey said no. Then also Grace Randolph also said something. She said, Ben Affleck hasn't signed any new Batman deals. Carry on. You mean besides Flash and the Snyder Cut? Exactly. There's a rumor going around he signed a new deal for movies, HBO Max show, whatevs. My sources say incorrect. So according to her and Casey and a few bunch of other people, that hasn't happened. So I guess we just got to chalk it up as, with a grain of salt for now. Just let's wait it out and see. Let's just keep our hopes up and just, wait. I think this is just a waiting game. It could be that Ben Affleck is a little bit more happier now to have Batman back in his life. Maybe Ana de Armas is like, hey, you look sexy in the bat suit. I would love to see you more in the bat suit. You looked awesome in those tests or whatever, for the additional photographer, Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I want to see you more in that. And that could be a huge possibility. It's just that nobody else has heard this. This pretty much a relatively big news in this. And nobody has heard of it except for them. So maybe we'll see. And when it comes out, I think it will come out big, and we'll have Variety, the Hollywood Reporter, Deadline. They'll probably even cite the Culture Nerd, says first scooped by the Culture Nerd, or first things by that, and then we can actually get truly excited, because that will be like an official confirmation that Ben Affleck is back as Batman, which is actually, I believe, is probably a better way to continue Justice League and theatrically by Warner Brothers. Instead of trying to force Robert Pattinson into the Batman role to go with Henry Cavill. But we'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, though, Ben Affleck will indeed return for Zack Snyder's Justice League. He has a Batman deal with Zack Snyder's Justice League, possibly even season 2 and season 3 as well. So those are multiple Batman contracts right there. He also has he's going to be Batman in the Flash, and I hope he's Batman in the Flash and not just Bruce Wayne. I mean, it's both is cool, but you kind of want to see him in the suit a little bit while longer. And so I totally think that would be a real possibility. Maybe even his own HBO Max series, which they've also said, and an HBO movie. I would totally love to see that. And I think having Zack Snyder's Justice League start their additional photography this week. Yes, it has started. I promise you, it has started. He hasn't posted anything yet. There's no post or anything that actually shows that it has started yet. And it's not, Fabian Wagner is not doing that additional photography. He's doing something else in the UK. Zack Snyder's Justice League additional photography is going to be in LA, and it is in LA right now. So I'm really excited to see, hopefully, within the coming days. Come on, Zach, post something on Vero. Let's see Ben Affleck in the suit again. And maybe he's like more convinced now that he can come back, return as the Cape Crusader a few more times. Come on, I know a little bit greedy here, but a few more times to be the Batman. So I'm really hoping for that. Hoping for some official news coming out from the official trades announcing stuff, and the world, the internet will totally explode. In fact, to the point that there's going to be people like, wait a minute, who's Batman now? Is it Robert Pattinson or is it Ben Affleck? They're going to be so confused, and it's going to be so fun to interact with those people and see those individuals really getting confused by that. But Ben Affleck, of course, will return as Batman, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Let's see what happens with that. I'm really curious to see if there's any chance that he's already said yes to Zack Snyder's Justice League 1, 2, and 3. That would be great. All right. Now we're talking about another cut that has yet to be announced, but we do think that maybe there is a little bit of progress to it, because David Ayer has recently seen the cut and in possession of the cut, perhaps, whereas before he wasn't. So, maybe he's doing something with it, or, showing it off. I don't know. Leaving it on a thumb drive in some bathroom somewhere. Some lucky individual is going to pick that up. But in any case, Ryan Unicombe, who is the director of the upcoming Justice League Mortal documentary, had posted this on on Instagram. I keep thinking of Vero. Instagram. It is Storyboards from David Ayer's Suicide Squad. And I thought this was really cool to look at. So you probably have to squint on my screen, but I will have this link in the sources description below. But it looks like it's Enchantress she's facing Incubus. So Incubus is her brother. Don't kill these, brother. They can be useful. And I guess she touches Incubus, and he starts to make her grow. So she's like starting to become really, really tall. It even says right here, 7'9". Wow, that's interesting. And then I think this is another scene different from this, although it's 0 scene 128. Okay, I guess it's the next scene over, or somewhere in along next scenes, where Rick Flag turns around. What I'm thinking, it's in the subway, sees her, and she kisses him, and probably, I don't know what happens after this. So this is something that wasn't in the movie. We don't actually see this part in the movie. I don't recall her growing by Incubus helping her grow and actually have those cool looking headpiece and things like that. I don't know. It does look different. I think I'm trying to remember if that actually happened. I know for a fact that I don't think she kisses Rick Flag as Enchantress, looking like her final form in a way. So I'm really intrigued by this, and which part of the movie is this that we're actually looking at here. But it does show you that when the storyboards for this is in place, it does have Incubus in it. So I guess we're not going to have Steppenwolf in it unless they somehow change it, I guess. But according to the storyboard here, it is indeed Incubus. And like David Ayer said, that was changed, very, very early on. So according to this storyboard, Incubus is the other entity, the villain that they have to fight. And I'm wondering if there's going to be any kind of changes to look at all, what type of VFX were they going to do, and other adjustments that, David Ayer really needed. He said it was really minimal, right? He said it's minimal, not much. He just like that and then release it. So hopefully, HBO Max sees that as a potential to release in the meantime. I mean, look at the theaters. There's nothing coming out. Everybody's sitting on their butts, watching streaming. I'm watching CW series on Netflix. It's a great time. I mean, it's a perfect opportunity to just, put a little bit of money into it and get the Ayer cut released. But, if it's true that all these projects, like seriously, like every single time something comes out, the line is right now from all these people who's the scoopers and sources is that HBO Max, Warner Media is waiting for Zack Snyder's Justice League to come out first before announcing any other projects that could potentially be David Ayer's Suicide Squad, the Ayer cut, Ben Affleck's series, Henry Cavill movies and stuff like that. It seems like Zack Snyder's Justice League is just that portal, if you will, that mother box to unleash the boom tube with having all these other movies and series pass through into our dimension. I mean, Zack Snyder's Justice League is the mother box. And hopefully it opens up big and the boom tube's huge and we can start accepting all these other projects that, have been teased or rumored and so on and so forth. And we could really, restore the Snyderverse as well, which is the rest of the Justice League parts. All right. Well, that's awesome. Can't wait to find out in upcoming days if any of these things are officially confirmed and reported by the Hollywood Reporter in the trades. I can't wait. But we'll have to, like I said, it's going to be exciting. I think things are truly looking up. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of DC content from movies, shows, and video games, click the like button. Hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time. Bye.